Go ahead and start. Give me Paul out now. Paul. As soon as you click. Yep, Lauren. Okay, folks, here we go. This is our last speaker before lunch, and just so you know, we'll be looking at everything you eat at lunch, and just to make sure it's appropriate and proper. Would you serve us anything inappropriate? No, not today. We would. Not today. This next speaker, I'm very pleased, but also very interested to introduce him. He was here last year watching his mother present, and he turned to me and said, "Boy, I'd like to present next year." Now, you don't hear something like that from a 15-year-old. And I said, jokingly, well, what would you say? And he said, I'll let you know later. I still don't know what he's going to say. Purposely, over the last year, we haven't had that conversation, but he stayed very confirmed and very firm in that he wants to say something to you as coaches. He has lived with a coaches, for 16 years, so he has that perspective. He also plays varsity football and has had many, many coaches in his short career. So he brings that perspective. Has rowed a couple strokes on an erg, maybe a few in a tank, and I think that's about it. Has sat in a shell. So I think it'll be very interesting. I'm probably more nervous about this than anything I've done today. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, and just so you know, I just asked him, would you rather play, he's an offensive lineman for football. I said, would you rather go against a 350-pound guy or do this? He said, it's a toss-up. So I know you're a little nervous, but you're going to do great. Just take a deep breath. Everybody wants you to be successful.
All right.
Go for it.
I'm here to talk to you guys about keeping your athletes happy. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 16. I'm a junior in high school. I play football. This is my third year playing. And I like football because it's fun. So that's today's key word. So I want you guys to have fun with this talk. For the rest of the day, have fun at lunch. And I hope you had fun this morning. So you're asking, why is fun important to you and why it should be important to us. So fun should keep athletes coming back. If it's not fun, I'm not going to keep coming to practice. I won't have a passion for the sport. Winning's really important to me. I'm not going to lie, I won a trophy and all that stuff, but I also want to have fun while I'm getting that trophy. And another reason why I want to have fun, I'm up 6 a.m. every day, just like most of your athletes. I have 2 AP classes during the day. I, go to school at 7, get out at 2:20, have practice till 6, go home, take a shower, eat dinner, homework for the rest of the night, then I'm in bed. Football practice is the time that I have, for fun, like most of your athletes. And then postseason. If I'm not having fun, I'm not going to want to extend the schedule. If I have 6 events, I'm just trying to get through it, and then I'm done, have my own time, go home after school. So if there's fun, postseason, yeah, that sounds great. So that's what your athletes are thinking. Next. So 6 ideas that work for me in practice for having fun. This is the perspective of a 16-year-old athlete. The first one, friendly competitions. Some things that we do, we have CrossFit races, which involves, we do medicine ball slams like Coach Andrew was showing you guys. Then we run right to jump rope, 20 seconds of jump rope. Then you do a quick 20-yard sprint. Gets the competitive juices flowing. Another thing we do is the lineman challenge, where you have the big, slow, beefy kids take on, the quick, agile running backs in soccer or frisbee or something. And, we just want to kill them, and, it's back and forth, and it's great. And that works really well, get the competitive juices flowing. Second, team dinner. Every day before a game, we have a team dinner where it's pasta, whole grains are served, great fuel for the next day. It's good team bonding time, and it really builds team chemistry. Next, I think yelling is unattractive. When coaches yell at me, sure, I'm intimidated, I might learn next time, but it's not always going to be effective to me. So try to, as coaches, mix in some positive feedback. I feel it's more effective, and I know my peers feel it's more effective. Team bonding. It could be like bowling as a team, going out to dinner, seeing a movie. Make sure everyone's involved. It builds team chemistry, and your team will be that much better if they all know something about each other, especially if they spend time together. Let the captains choose. Make sure everyone's incorporated, and it'll be a lot of fun. Give some credit. Allow yourselves, the coaches and the athletes, to bask in the glory of a victory or a defeat. Our coach this year, every day after a victory in the locker room, he came up to us. He said, tonight I want you guys to enjoy this victory. Go out, celebrate, but Monday we're right back to business. So, let yourself have fun, but then we're right back on Monday. And get to know your athletes. Definitely, if you can make connections, you'll be that much better. This year, I came off the field. I missed a crucial block. I'm pretty sure I gave up a sack. Oh well. But came over to the sideline, and I knew I was going to get yelled at, screamed at. I got over there, and my coach looked at me, and he said, "What did you see out there?" And I told him, I saw, a different scheme. I didn't know what to do. He walked me through it. I went back out there, and, I did great. And that was a lot more effective than someone just screaming in my face. And so next, this is all I can talk about right now because I want to know what you guys are thinking. If you have any ideas, practice ideas that you think are fun, I want you guys to ask me. There's no risk. I'm not your athlete. I'm, from the perspective of a 16-year-old. So if there's anything you guys are thinking, ask me, and I want to tell you, what I think.
How about it? What do you do for fun?
Along the lines of your competitions, we actually have, we've got a club, a rowing club, junior men and women, and we can tell when the kids are just getting tired and bored, and we'll throw in a day of, strongest man and strongest woman in the club, and it's usually 6 or 7 different competitions. And some of them are dumb, and some of them, but it doesn't mean that they aren't hard to do. And in the end, these kids are having great fun, but they've still gotten incredible workouts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like we have our, whenever we start getting bored, like I said, the lineman challenge. Well, we have a 350-pound kid on our team, and seeing him kick a soccer ball down the field, it's fun for everyone. Seeing him trip and fall, it's great. Even the coaches, are on the ground laughing at him. So, it definitely, mixes it up. Yeah.
I think along that same lines, one of the great things we did to close out the season this year was we allowed the athletes to pick teams. So, like she was mentioning, we have boys and girls. Well, they're all mixed lineups. Picked boys and girls. I mean, some people that weren't coxswains without destroying anything. But it was themed. So once they picked their lineups, they also had to pick their theme, and then everyone came in costume, and it was they straight up head-to-head race. So I mean, it had a lot of really good, get to know your teammates, get to talk to people you don't necessarily get to talk to, but then also have fun and have the competition. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Very similar.
Exactly. Definitely, try mixing it up is a lot of fun. Yeah.
We would do a lot of things. I always push the kids really hard, so I always try to give them distractions and stuff like that, so they don't think about what they're doing when they're doing it. And we do a lot of the team stuff. We'll do ultimate frisbee, which is totally opposite from rowing, and you pick your teams and all that stuff. And I pick the captains pick their own squad and stuff like that. You'll see the kids. Down, those ones really fast, or that kid's, really strong with this or that. So it's lots of fun, especially when I start to see that they're getting really tired, they're just kind of getting beaten down and all that stuff, and I'm like, all right, go get the frisbee.
Yeah.
It's always in the back of my car, it's always ready to go. They'll even bring in and ask, can we play frisbee today? Like, no, not today, maybe in a couple days, we'll see what happens. So, it's a totally different aspect of what they normally would do. So they don't have to think about it, they just go out and play and have fun.
Definitely. All right.
Are 2Ks fun?
The way that we end our season, every season, is we rent out a paintball field. I actually coach boys and girls together, and we have 4 hours of paintball at the end of every season.
That's awesome.
And it's painful.
I wish we did that.
And it's also Coach Highs.
He wants to transfer, he said.
Coach Highs, and she realizes she doesn't own enough camera. But that's what we do, and they love it. They actually come in on days, we had to do it on a holiday this year, the way school scheduled, and they all came, and it was the only time the bus left on time, because we only went to go play paintball.
Great. Yeah.
What do you think is a good balance versus the sort of messing around versus getting down to business over the course of a season that supports you in meeting your goals?
Yeah. One thing that definitely worked for us was a once a week thing. So, and it was right before our competition. So we went through a week of, an awful practice, and then you're looking forward to the day before a game. You're thinking, oh, this is my break during the week, and then we have a game the next day. So if you can mix in something, you don't want it to be every other day because then, nothing's ever getting done. But, if there's definitely, if they look forward to it, then it'll work. That's how it worked for us.
So I want to have fun. I know you want to have fun, and winning is more fun than losing, but sometimes we're in that not fun place of losing. What do you want to hear from the coach? I usually wait a day. I tell the guys we're too close to it, and we'll wait a day. What's something you'd want to hear from your coach after a loss, whether it was a good game or a game that didn't go as well?
Well, definitely one thing I don't want to hear after a loss is nothing. Because if I don't hear anything, then I know something, is really bad. So definitely if you communicate with your athletes after a loss, it makes it feel a lot better, in a positive way, not saying, oh, you sucked out there, definitely saying like, you can definitely get better at this. We're going to work on this at practice this week and stuff like that.
What about this season in the playoffs? You lost in the playoffs. So there is no more tomorrow.
Yeah.
What about in a situation like that? Like when the Patriots lost.
Yeah, you can always get better, and there's always next year, and I'm sure, maybe some of your athletes have other sports that they play, and, you just talk to them and say, there's definitely room for improvement for you, but you did a great job this season, and I can't wait to, you come back next year, and we're definitely going to, kick some butt.
What ideas do you have about breaking that ice barrier for coaches and athletes? Because as a coach, I know I'm intimidating, and I try not to be, but I'm always looking for different ways to make it so they can speak to me.
Yeah, exactly. Connections. Definitely talk to your athletes. If you have a connection, you know that they like, a certain soccer team, you can make connections with that. You know that they learn, when you write stuff down and draw stuff for them, stuff like that. And you find out what they like. I know our team, we go into our coach's office all the time for lunch, and that's how he knows so much about us. We have a deaf kid that wrestles and plays football, and coach is always cracking jokes with him just because he's always in there. He's always talking. He's always, the communication line is always open between them. So if you keep that communication line open, then connections will form and communication will be a lot easier.
At least in my program, I deal heavily with the seniors as a form of leadership. From your perspective, what do you want to hear from that type of group? Or, and what do you not want to hear? Like, what role do you want some of your senior leadership to be down on you? You expect them to take care of, and what parts do you expect, like, the coach to kind of step in and to take care of?
Well, you never want someone your own age telling you what to do. It's kind of demoralizing. I feel if I have someone younger than me telling, oh, you're not doing that right. Okay. So definitely coaches should coach, and captains should be there to back them up. The seniors need to be there when the coaches aren't there. Just guiding them along. And when they see them doing something wrong, they can correct them. But it's definitely, I feel like it's the coach's job to do that. Yeah, so but the seniors, like you were talking about, they can definitely be there to guide them along, and that's definitely helpful. Yep.
Have you found with certain teams and teams you've been on, do you find that teams usually respond better towards like an authoritarian coach that'll set rules but then strictly enforce them versus someone that's trying too hard to just get everybody to like each other in that respect?
Well, the way I've always seen it is you have a head coach who's really nice and accepting. Like you said, you want everyone to like each other. Then he hires all the hammers who are the assistant coaches, and they just pound the crap out of you. So I mean, there's definitely like a mix. So the assistant coaches, they're getting you, they're making you run and stuff, and then you see the head coach and you're like, oh, thank God he's here. Yeah.
So a setup where you have, for lack of a better term, a good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Coach Al just tweeted you, and that's the assistant.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What are the top 5 things you expect from a coach?
Number one, definitely make me better than I already am coming into the program. Number two, making it fun, making the experience fun. Because, in high school you can't really choose who your coaches are, but definitely, when you go into college, you're not going to choose someone, who's a hammer. You're going to choose someone, oh yeah, we can win, but, we can also have fun while we're doing it. Number three, be successful. I definitely want to be successful in my athletic career. Number four.
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
honesty? How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
from your
honesty, definitely. I don't want my coaches to lie to me, and I definitely, I don't want them to say, oh, you did a good job. I want them to be straight up with me, you're not very good. We need to work on this, or I can't get better. And lastly, I definitely want them not to be, like a god. I want them to be down with us and talking to us, where I would never see, my head coach, and I would just be with one of the assistants. So definitely communication between coach and athlete. Right.
This is role models, truly, or are they too far distant?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like I said, instead of being a guide down there, definitely I look up to all my coaches, and it's because they communicate with us and they make it fun.
Any parting words?
Nope.
All right, well, thank you very much, Brooke. Greatly appreciate it.